Sunday night hurt for Chicago Bears fans. The Bears were this close to actually still having the number one seed in the NFC overall available to them coming into this last week, but nonetheless, the Bears are still fighting for history. Caleb Williams is 270 yards away from doing something no Bears quarterback has ever done in Bears history, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to talk about while the playoffs are not set yet, we're looking at the possible matchups for the Chicago Bears in the playoffs and dive a little bit into the mailbag. All that and more right after this. What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host, Derek Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go and get into this content for today, y'all, and I want to start off talking about the positive. Caleb Williams is going into Week 18 trying to do something that no Chicago Bears quarterback has done in history. Chicago Bears is Caleb Williams is only 270 yards away from being the Chicago Bears' first 4,000-yard passer. When you think about the fact that the Bears are one of the oldest organizations in football, and the fact that we've never had a 4,000-yard passer, I think it just shows where the Bears have been at with their quarterback situation, right? The Bears have been behind the 8 ball with the quarterback play for a while. And it's not to say that Caleb Williams still doesn't have things that he needs to grow on. If anything else, it makes it that much more special, right? Because if you look at the drops, the missed throws by Caleb Williams, the completion percentage, if he improves that, we're talking about a player that maybe would be competing for almost 4,500 yards, right, or something like that. Like, that is the level of player that Caleb Williams is. And that is how Caleb Williams has improved as a quarterback. People make so much about just what Caleb Williams does not do. I think sometimes we forget what Caleb Williams does do and how he is really good in a lot of areas comparatively to other quarterbacks in overall in the NFL. Like, the completion percentage is a lot different, right? But somebody pointed out in the pregame show on Sunday how Caleb Williams and Josh Allen's numbers aren't that far off from each other. Now, the completion percentage is a lot different. You know, Josh Allen has almost a 70% completion percentage, but the numbers are very close. And a lot of you guys understand the level of player that Josh Allen is. Caleb has a lot of work that he still needs to do. There's no doubt about that. He sits right now this season with a 90 QB rating, which is really good. Don't hit me with that QBR. That's an ESPN stat. No other place uses that, right? But Caleb Williams so far has 310 completions on 535 attempts, a 58% completion percentage with 3,730 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, matching his interception number from last season. Now, I don't want Caleb Williams to focus on getting the record. That's not what I want to do. I want him to focus on getting over 4,000 yards. I want Caleb Williams to come into this game on Sunday and focus on getting the win, locking the Chicago Bears up to the number 2 seed in the NFC. That's what I care about more than anything, any individual accolade. And Caleb Williams will probably be one of the first ones to tell you that as well, with the way that he looks at the game of football. You even look at how Caleb Williams, after the Chicago Bears offense in the game that it had, Caleb Williams didn't even want to take personal responsibility for it. He put that on his team. That is the type of quarterback that we have. So many people make so much about Caleb Williams that has nothing to do with football at all, and that's on them. They have to battle with their own demons in regards to that one. But Caleb is fighting for something here that is historic for the Chicago Bears, organization, and I hope to God he's able to get it right. When asked about having over 440 total yards of offense, he said this: "I think it starts up front. I think the guys up front did a hell of a job protecting me, but also in the run game. We had some big first downs in the run game that sparked us. I would say that's leadership." Say what you will about Caleb Williams. A lot of people try to make things about him that weren't really him as a person. Say what you will. Caleb Williams is out here getting it done. And the Bears have 11 wins on the season and can have 12 if they win Week 18 and also lock up the number 2 seed in the overall NFC. Caleb is averaging 233 yards passing per game. He has eclipsed only 270 yards 4 times this season, so we'll see if he can do that on Sunday as well. None of those have happened against Detroit, though, right? So this is going to be, right now, a big matchup. When we faced Detroit in Week 2, Caleb Williams threw for 207 yards. Now, I want to see the Bears get this dub. That is the first and foremost thing. But if on the way to that victory, we can get Caleb Williams to make history as a quarterback for the Chicago Bears, then I'm great. I'm not mad at it. When you look at the previous record, this is how long it's been. Like, Eric Kramer set the record for Chicago Bears passing yards in the season with 3,838 in 1995. Now, Caleb Williams is only 109 away from that number, which is pretty safe to say he's going to get that, all things luckily. Caleb Williams is going to walk out of this season the most prolific passer in Chicago Bears history as far as overall yardage. Now, we have some things that we need to tighten up on this offseason. We all know that. We've talked about that. But we'll see. There's a high probability Caleb Williams is going to finish this game with a single season record for the Chicago Bears for passing yards, no matter what that looks like. And he has a chance to be the first 4,000-yard passer in Chicago Bears history while doing that, getting the win, and locking in the 2 seed. Let's go out there and get it done. This is an important game for the Chicago Bears, and I want to see the Bears come in here and lock it in, because if we do get the number 2 seed, then not to say that things get easier, but we basically will host the playoff games until we get to the NFC Championship. And let's see what that means for the Chicago Bears. So let's hope that the Bears can get this done. They can take care of business. Caleb Williams got to be at the forefront of that. Our running game is going to have to be pristine as well with that. And we'll see what this Lions team has, because they're not going to make it easy for the Bears. The Lions are playing for nothing right now. But don't overlook the rivalry. Don't overlook the fact that Ben Johnson left the Detroit Lions. All those things are going to play a part into why this Lions team is going to want to come in here and get shit done. They're going to want to come in here and shit on the Bears party as much as they can. Now, the Lions are riding 3 straight losses. 3 straight losses, I may add, since Don Berg came in our chat during a live stream and tried to talk shit. How's that for karma, motherfucker? But when you look at the games, they've allowed 41 points, 29 points, and 23 points over their 3 losses. The Chicago Bears have proven that they can put up points. Comes down to the defense. Can the defense get enough stops? That's what we got to see, when we go into this game. But the Bears got to be prepared. The running attack is still the running attack. This is still a well-coached team, an executed team. Let's go out here and take care of business. Now, on the other side of that, once the Bears do take care of business, I want to take a look at the Bears' possible playoff opponents. Number 1, the Green Bay Packers. After splitting the regular season series, I would love nothing more than to send the Cheeseheads packing in the playoffs, in the opening round of the playoffs, to shut that fan base the fuck up, right? I would love nothing more than to do that. If the Bears beat the Lions or the Eagles lose to the Washington Commanders, we'll lock down the number 2 seed and we will play Green Bay. So simple. If we win, we play Green Bay. The Eagles lose to the Commanders, we play Green Bay. Either one of those scenarios, we're playing the Green Bay Packers, one of the most longest rivalries in the game of football, but they've dominated the rivalry for the last decade plus, right? Now, things have started to change. We split the last 2 regular seasons with them, last season and this season. It comes down to now this. They are banged up just like we're banged up. And very much so, like in the 2 games that we've seen so far from these 2 teams, it comes down to who to execute the longest. Can the Bears put up points in every single quarter? That's what we need to do. Can we get them off the field? Listen, Jordan Love went down in the game. So Packers fans are still holding on to that, saying that we didn't beat Jordan Love because he went out in that last game. And listen, I hate the Cheeseheads. I'll give them that caveat. If we send them home, if we send them packing in the playoffs, that ends it. And then we go into next season looking to do it again. So I would love for the Green Bay Packers to be our opponent in the first week of the playoffs, and I wouldn't mind that. Now, the other opponent the Bears can face off against the Los Angeles Rams. If we lose to the Rams and the Eagles beat the Commanders, we'll fall to the number 3 seed, and we'll face off against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I want to be clear here. The Rams are one of the most complete teams in the NFC. I don't care what the record says. I don't care about any of that. They are one of the most complete teams. So if they have to come to the cold and play in Chicago at Soldier Field, listen, I would not be mad at that at all, right? And we'll see what's going to happen here. But the Rams, they shit the bed last night on Monday Night Football. And so now, what does that mean for them? And coming into this game, we shall see right on Sunday. But the Bears got to be prepared for this one. That you cannot take the Rams lost to the goddamn Atlanta Hawks, but you can't take that for granted. This is still a very complete team. Like I said, I don't care what the record says. You cannot overlook this team by any means necessary. You got to be prepared for what the Rams are going to try to bring into Soldier Field if that ends up being the case. But that is our other possible opponent. Next up, the San Francisco 49ers. We're coming off a loss to the Niners, and a bit of the petty part of me would love to see us beat the Niners in the playoffs after us losing to them in the regular season and taking off the board our chances of being the number 1 team in the NFC, right? So, but that game was hard fought. It felt like a playoff atmosphere game. We put up points in every single quarter, as did they, and it came down to the last wire. If the Bears are the number 3 seed, which means that we would have to lose and the Eagles would have to win, if the Seahawks beat the 49ers in their final game, and the Rams, they beat I think the Cardinals, the San Francisco 49ers would then be our opponent. Now, I think with the Rams losing against the Atlanta Hawks, this makes this a little bit more of a difficult and less likely matchup. But hey, it would be at Soldier Field this time. We'd have to match up with them, and I wouldn't be mad at that at all either. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks right now are the number 1 seed in the NFC. But there is a scenario in which they can fall down to the number 6 seed. If the Bears hold on to the number 3 seed with a loss to the Eagles, right? With a loss, and then the Eagles win, the Niners beat the Seahawks, then they could fall down and we could possibly face them in the playoffs. It's one of the scenarios there. Listen, I'm not going to say that I want to face them, but you got to beat whoever's in front of you. So as it stands right now, and like I said, some of this may have changed with last night's loss. I think that the Niners matchup and the Seattle Seahawks matchup are almost off the table now. So it may just come down to the Rams and the Green Bay Packers as being our most likely playoff scenarios for the Chicago Bears. And like I said, in either one of those, the Rams are still a very complete team, and the Green Bay Packers, it's personal when it comes to the Green Bay Packers because I hate those motherfuckers. So that's what you got to look at when it comes down to that. But let me know what you guys' thought is on that. As far as the last game, though, Ben Johnson has already made it known. There is no plan to sit or rest starters in that game. Ben Johnson, when asked about it, said this plainly: "We are playing to win this week." So that signals that the starters are going to be out there on the field. And the Bears are trying to gun for the number 1 seed, the number 2 seed in the NFC is where the highest that they can make it now. And, I've seen some people meet this with, positive reactions and negative reactions. I'm never going to be mad for a team going for it. I'm never going to be mad for a team that looks at it and says, no, we want this win. We want to go into there with hosting every playoff game until we get to the NFC Championship if we're lucky enough to do that. I love that. I love that. That's what Ben Johnson is. He has the mindset of a coach that puts winning above everything. And I tell you what, for that, I'm internally grateful because we haven't always had that with the Chicago Bears. So the fact that we have that now with the coach, it feels great. Now, am I a little bit concerned with how much injuries have played a part into the Bears season? Maybe, but scared money don't make money. So go out there, let's play this game, let's put the pressure on the Detroit Lions, let's go out here and get a dub, and then we can come out of the other side of this and figure out where we sit as a team and focus on winning a playoff game. And there, I'm never going to be mad at that at all. So let's see what the Bears have in store for us. With that said, I didn't get into it yesterday. We got 2 mailbags I want to get into today. This one's from Keys.
Yo, what's the deal, fellas? It's your boy Keys, man. Hope all is well with you guys. With that being said, let's get to it. So it was a good. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie, it was a great game last night. We needed a little bit more from our defense to help us out, and I think it really showed up. Kind of shows what we are lacking, what we need with our front four, our pass rush. I know Montez Sweat is getting double teamed, and Austin Booker actually played pretty good aside from a couple plays. He made a sack last night. He had a tackle for loss. He was showing some effort, but you could tell that we need more of a presence inside. I don't know if Shamar Turner would have done much last night with him being a rookie, but we need help when the off season comes. Linebackers played pretty decent. Our DBs didn't play our best game there on defense at all at any point in time. Javon Dexter has literally, you would think he'd be that key piece, or at least develop a little bit more. But when you see the 5 sacks for the season, it's just like, where is that really coming from? So I don't know if he's just seeing more double teams or it's just a lack of pass rush. As far as the offense, I will give Ben Johnson this. You do 440 yards, and you basically played in the shootout game. I thought we could have controlled the clock a little bit more. The way San Francisco played is how you want this offense to play. Control, playing fast, moving the ball, Quarterback is accurate as hell. And Caleb probably, they got called in the last voicemail. I said this probably be his best game you'll see him play, and he was right at where I think he should be at 60 to 65%, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did some things, but you can also see there's still some growth, and I'm truly excited about that. Um, you know, Luther Burden, just about everything I wanted. With the draft that we had for the rookies and then having an undrafted rookie playing too, I think we got a hell of a future. And it just come down to execution. I'm not upset, I'm not mad, but I know that if we was to face San Francisco in the playoffs, we got a real good shot to beat them at home. So let me know what you guys think. As always, shot town up, bear down.
I think you said we kind of needed more for the defense. I think we can throw the word kind of out of that equation. We needed more from the defense. And I'm glad that Jaquan Brisker said as much after the game, right? Everyone on the D-line can be upgraded this offseason. I don't expect a total overhaul of the defensive line. I don't expect them to get rid of Javon Dexter. Montez Sweat is still going to be here. Austin Booker's still going to be here. But I'm not mad at them improving the D-line by any means necessary. Whatever it takes. The way that you improved the offensive line last season, that effort needs to go into improving the defensive line this season. And I think most Bears fans are going to agree with that. You have to improve that defensive line. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We need improvement in that position group. We have to get better at getting to the quarterback, and we have to be better at stopping the run game. We need to be better in that, right? And I think overall, as far as the offense, it felt like the offense did what was needed to get done. Most of the time, putting up 48 points is going to get you the win, more times than not. Now, there were some things that they did that we could have had better, all those type of things. That's in every single game. But I think overall, the Bears offense played a playoff atmosphere type game the right way. Now, let's maintain it this week against the Detroit Lions, and then let's gear up and get ready for the fucking playoffs, because we're going to need every bit of what we did against the Niners and more in the playoffs, because it's playoff football. You need a little bit more than that. And this Bears offense continues to improve. Caleb Williams continues to improve. I was impressed by how we were able to get rushing yards against a team that doesn't allow a lot of rushing yards. So, those things were all good. The defense needed to be better, and the offense had its areas it needed to be better early on too. And let's see if the Bears can take care of that in this week, and then let's get into the playoffs. All right, let's get into the last voicemail for today. This one's from the 414.
Yo, Chicago Bears Central, man. It's Achilles. Just recapping on that game, man. Good game. Defenses on both sides were trash. But, man, honestly, it sucked that, you would think a guy like Nashawn Wright would have a chip on his shoulder for being quote unquote snubbed out of the Pro Bowl. But shit, I think that made the right decision, because god damn, your ankles were getting snatched, bro. He was giving up so many big plays, bro. They were picking on him, bro. So that was very underwhelming. I get he got smacked by Johnson, but I mean, bro was still good enough to play in the game regardless, even after he got smacked by him. I mean, and I don't even know what Jaron Johnson was doing, lowering his shoulder, and was blinded by something, and he smacked the hell of right. But regardless, another thing people are trying to point out, DJ was open. He was all the way on the right side of the field while Caleb's getting chased down by defenders. So we're starting another thing with, oh, DJ was open narrative. Stupid as fuck. Instead of jumping jack, niggas can't talk, but instead of doing jumping jacks, like trying to say you're open, run towards the action and try to make it easier for Caleb to throw you the ball, bro. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Caleb had a good ass game, man. Probably his best game of the year, to be honest. But he's still got to work on making those layup throws. He's making those nice deep balls, and he's getting better and better, bro. We're seeing it. Just got to work on making those layup throws, and we all see that. We know that, but we ain't gonna win shit or do much with a defense that's given up over 500 total yards, man. I mean, no team is gonna win under those circumstances. An offense can do so much. I mean, it's good to see the Bears offense carry the defense, but man, I don't know if they played worse against the Bengals or if they played worse against the Niners. It's one of the two, because they let up, 42 points against both of them. Probably the Bengals, since Joe Flacco was hurt on the same throwing arm and he was still dotting us up. But even then, it's just, you're not winning games with that. Booker had a pretty decent game. 2 slots, sack. He did let go of 2 potential sacks. I mean, he got his ankles got snatched by Brock for that touchdown pass. And then after that, I don't know if he got purely stiff-armed by Brock when he could have tried to make that sack, but he fell on his ass. So that didn't help. But overall, great game. I'm honestly not mad at all about it. I mean, I know a lot of Bear fans are acting like it's the end of the world, but it really ain't. It was a good game. We knew it was going to be a shootout, but we needed more than 38 points to win. I mean, at this point, those early, offensive struggles we had was a big part of why we got in that position as well. We had to kind of play perfect, but
Caleb is definitely getting better, and there's no doubts about that. And people who say that he isn't, they're just stupid. They're not worth your time at that point. Because yes, they are getting better. Now, I will say this as well, though. On that last play, people saying, "Oh, well, Caleb Williams missed that." People who don't look at where the defense was, where the defense was pushing Caleb, where the coverage was, they just look at it and say, "Oh, look, this player was open. He should be able to make this throw." There are circumstances in that one while that's not going to happen. I'm not going to hold that wholly against Caleb Williams. Overall, I'll say this. The Bears put themselves in a position to win this game against a team that put up 41 points. They still were in position to win it. It's just that magic runs out sometimes. The Bears defense needed to get more stops to see how they grow and learn from that. Because if Dennis Allen is the DC that I think he is, he's going to get in. He's going to get into them, and I think we're going to see a better performance from them in the next game. And I'm not mad at that. So we'll see. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This season has already changed the direction of this Bears franchise, and it's not done yet. Whether it's Caleb making history, the Bears hosting a playoff game, or this team proving that they belong on the biggest stage, we're watching something being real built here in Chicago. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with us, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.